That's my baby.
I'm dying.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left. Beat left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey guys, Spittin' Fire with Rachael Blaze and Tarzan. How was your day today, Tarzan?
It was good. We got some posing done. We got to have a group meeting for bodybuilding for B Fitness. See where all the shows are at, who's going to compete, what's going on.
Did you pick a show?
Wisconsin, because Illinois is probably going to shut down again.
Cheeseheads. Okay. Yeah, Wisconsin has been awesome as far as having shows go. They have never shut down as far as I
No, and then they also have pretty good awards and appreciation for the athletes that compete. So it's pretty nice up there.
We want to tell you guys Happy New Year. It's 2021, and I say one WON because we're all gonna win this year. How about that? Talk about positive enthusiasm, right?
Oh, it's 2021, so
Yeah, it can't get any worse than last year. We've got two amazing guests tonight. We've got a pro wrestler, second generation. He goes deep into the wrestling world, and he's an MMA fighter. He was an MMA fighter. He'll tell you more detail of that story. He is amazing. I have to tell you, I've been following him on Facebook for a little bit, and him and I are like alike. I love his posts. I love where he stands, especially on current events and things. So we agree on a lot. And he's got some great stories. Wait till you find out who his uncle is. Oh my God, I'm so excited. They're going to love it. And so his name is Goth Black, and he is the most amazing wrestler. I mean, so much enthusiasm. I love him. Like his beard. I just want to like play with his beard. Look at Destin. He just shaved. He got his little goatee. You should have heard the comments that they said at the gym. Thanks to Brooks down at the gym. So my son, he's got the porn mustache or the porn goatee.
I'm like, what was the wrestler who had the goatee? Hulk Hogan. There you go. It's
right.
Hulk Hogan, mustache.
Hey, Peter, what's up? I see you.
Happy New Year.
What's up, Blaze family? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Peter. Appreciate you being on the show tonight. Ginger, I see you, girl. Oh, yes, we got Goth Black on tonight. Ladies, I don't know if he's single. I don't know if he's got a woman. I don't know, but we'll find out on the show. How about that? Destin, I know you got a lot of questions.
No. I'm just curious to know more about him.
Hey, Andy. Happy New Year. Started the new show. I'm so glad you could join us tonight. This is the first time we're doing a Saturday. We decided to do it the day after New Year's Day. I didn't want to do it on a Friday. I just wanted to kind of chill a little bit, and we did not have a show after Christmas. So this is our first show of the year. I'm super stoked, aren't you? Wow, he's like, super excited.
Let's go. I still got the 2020 hanging behind me, so
oh no,
I
it's
expect something bad to happen any moment.
No, we're going all positive in this year. Totally positive. And then our second guest tonight, Dr. Howie, he's amazing. Let me tell you, he's been a really good friend. He followed me through the time of when I started Rachael Blaze and all the wonderful things I was doing for MMA. And then he also followed my journey and stuck with me while I was sick, pretty much on my deathbed. And he gave me the best advice as far as health and different things to help. And then he directed me to another good friend, Dr. Davis. He's super amazing. Hey, Jake. It's good to see you. What's up?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Dr. Howard Fidler is amazing. He is a chiropractor, and he also does oh my gosh, elite sports performance. That is something that he owns, and he works with the NFL and WWE and UFC and all those great, amazing top athletes. So I'm super excited to talk to him tonight. I haven't talked to him since I have recovered from my illness. So this is going to be a good night. We have a fun, packed, hot, fiery night. So I'll tell you what. Oh my gosh, I can't wait till the first guest. He's going to be a riot, you guys. You better not piss your pants. I'm just saying. The last show we had, I believe Mandy, yes, Mandy, you were out there working out and you said, I couldn't work out. You guys were making me laugh too hard. I almost pissed my pants. Well, we don't want anybody to piss their pants tonight, okay? But do laugh and get your ab workout in at the same time. Why are you looking at? Oh my God, you're so quiet, Dustin. We gotta get you out of here.
The awkward silence it's hilarious.
Maybe we should get you some special brownies. We'll get you the special brownies. You need those. Hey, Aggie, Happy New Year! Happy New Year, girl. Wait, that was my voice. Okay.
The microphone makes you sound better than you actually are.
Oh,
it's auto-tune, guys. It's auto-tune.
Auto-tune. Right. So, did you learn anything new with today's posing? While we were at B's? B is so
There
funny.
were lots of new faces.
Oh, there's good faces, yes.
Nothing really new. Same old, just going over the posing, getting introduced to different classes, different people. Once again, going over show dates. Whether or not they're going to be canceled or not, we don't know. It's kind of up in the air. We're
just going to go with the flow this year, right?
Wishful thinking. Regardless, I am still going to diet down because I'm tired of being fat.
And I forgot to say, you guys, our poll question tonight, I probably forgot myself. Vegan versus meat.
Meat all the way.
Yes, meat or vegan versus meat, which is better for bodybuilding, or I'm sorry, for building muscles? Agree or disagree? Or you can make a comment. We appreciate the comments. We know you like meat.
Yeah, meat's better.
Yeah, 10 ounces of meat. Oh
I
my
don't
God.
know which one of you guys like soy burgers, and I've had a Beyond Meat burger, and don't get me wrong, it's good, but I'd rather stick with the time proven, beef and chicken, all the good stuff.
When you have multiple people in your household doing the same kind of diet, and I actually might do a show this year. I don't know. I haven't decided, but I'm going to train just like Dustin is for his show. So we'll see where my body goes and how I feel. But I'm super excited. I'm going to see. Look, I was great and fit before I got sick. I'm sure my body can bounce back, right? What do you think?
It might be harder than last time, but
yeah, it's okay.
That just means you just got to stop eating. That's what it is. It's just you just slowly
cardio.
take out food.
No, it's not the food. It's the cardio for me and the energy, because I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not any younger than I was. So
I don't like cardio either.
I don't like cardio. You sweat your balls off. I don't like sweat. I don't have balls, but yeah. Sweating.
I don't mind the sweat. That just proves that you're working. That's like a trophy every day. There you go.
I think our guest Black Goth is available, isn't he? Not? Is he here?
Hey!
Hey!
How are you?
An awesome beard.
It's copyrighted, man. Nobody steal my shit. That's my gimmick. It's copyrighted.
Beard.
Oh, I freaking love it. He's got a skunk on his face. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
It's awesome. I love it. Destin, this is my son, by the way, Tarzan. He's in the bodybuilding.
How's it going?
Good, man.
He's got the porn stash going on here. That's thanks to Coach out there. But why don't you give us a little rundown, a little bit of background on you? I believe you're an MMA fighter, second generation wrestler. So let's go into a little bit of your background.
As far as MMA, I started taking karate when I was a kid. Bruce Lee was, my hero when I was a kid, and I started watching kung fu movies, and took American karate at your local strip mall, and got into it from there. Just from there, man, really found a passion for judo and grappling and Russian sambo, and it's something I did for a very long time. And I never was a football player or this, and I was always a wrestler, amateur, collegiate, shoot style martial arts, and got into that. That was my thing. When I was growing up as a kid, I just loved martial arts, and wound up, my dad, my uncle, a lot of family in the wrestling business. It was kind of following my dad's footsteps. Little known fact, before I ever got into wrestling, and I had gotten out of martial arts, and I was in my late teens, early 20s, man, I was a hairband guy. I play guitar, I sing.
What?
I was at no bullshit. You can ask anyone who's know me. I was dead ringer for Nikki Sixx. Dead freaking ringer.
Awesome. I could see that.
I looked like something I'd banged the night before. I mean, it was crazy, man. You look at me now, I'm just 325-pound jacked and stacked, madman. And back then I looked like a chick. I had the lace up crotch leather pants with the Aquanet hairdo, man. I looked like a freaking drag queen. No shit, no bullshit. Yeah.
Oh
and I tried for a long time, to make it as a rock star, man. And, I hit my mid-20s, and, the Seattle scene had taken over, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, and all these bands. And this is, and I was a Motley Crue rat kind of guy, and it's like, well, I'm not going to, grow a goatee and wear a flannel and stare at my shoes. And I was like, what am I going to do, man? I was like, and I'm 165 pounds soaking wet at this time, 6'4", but like 165, look at Jake. Call my dad up, who, Rod Price is my father. I'm second generation wrestler. And called him up and said, look, Pop, I want to, he's in Louisiana. I want to get into the business. I really wanted this wrestling thing. The music thing is not working, And my dad's like, no, seriously, why'd you call? Because I'm like 165 pounds soaking wet. And he's like, you sure, have you thought about this? And I was like, I want to be in the entertainment business because I love the entertainment business. And I said, and music is just not, the scene has changed. It's not, my thing, but, I really have I've always been like a closet wrestler. I can fantasize into my head, like, if I came down to the ring to this song and did this, it was always like a fantasy, like, wow, if I could do what my dad and my uncle did or whatever. But, wound up calling him up and he's like, well, son, I can't teach over the phone. You're going to have to move to Louisiana, come back home and go to wrestling school. And I sold everything that I could. And what I couldn't sell, I packed up in a U-Haul and, moved to Louisiana and began my training as a professional wrestler.
That's nice. Look at that.
Yeah, that was about, this year will be year 25. I have been in the business for 25 years now.
Wow. Who do you currently wrestle for now?
Anybody that will freaking pay me. Anybody that's open. I've worked a little bit of my history. I spent 3 years at WCW, World Championship Wrestling, which is a Ted Turner-owned company. With a developmental deal, I was down at the power plant, which was their training facility. It's like WWE's NXT now. Things are a lot different. They handle business a lot different. But I was there for 3 years at WCW and loved it. Met some of the greatest people, had some of the most amazing adventures, formed friendships that last a lifetime. And then Ted Turner made one of the worst business deals in history, and almost with Time Warner AOL. And WCW went up for sale. Vince McMahon, who owns WWE, bought it. They pretty much got rid of everybody, kept a few guys. I was offered a developmental deal at Deep South Wrestling in McDonough, Georgia, which was their NXT long before there was an NXT. And it was the most god-awful experience of my life. I mean, it was so different than what I was used to. I was very old school, brought in old school and this and that. And you got these guys that are just, they just want to make a buck, which everybody wants to make a living, but they had no passion for the business, had no idea the history. They were just like, oh, wrestling's popular. This is a quick way for me to make $1, and I hated it. And I was there for a year and just said, screw this. And then just wanted to go into work, did some dark matches for Impact Wrestling, TNA, some house shows, things like that. And just from there, pretty much have wrestled countless NWA territories, countless different promotions. Currently working for Stranglehold Championship Wrestling, which is a really amazing company out of Atlanta, Georgia. And freelance independent contractor at this point.
Okay, look at you. So how long did it I don't know. I've never some people are like, wrestling is so fake, and like they take the
get in the ring with me and I'll show you how freaking fake it is. I invite anyone to sign a waiver, get in there, and when I come flying off those ropes at 325 pounds and take your freaking head off, you tell me how fake it feels.
I've heard quite a few injuries. Dustin, I think you had a question, right?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if your martial arts background, if that influenced anything into the ring for wrestling.
Yeah, because I mean, there's nothing worse than seeing some of the shit on TV now. It looks like it looks fake. It just looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just leg slapping bullshit. You kick me and slap your leg, I'm gonna knock the piss out of you. That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's so fake and so choreographed, and you just start jumping around doing backflips and handsprings, I'm gonna knock your fucking teeth out. I mean, it's just, what old school guy, man. I was brought in old school, and when I got into it, it was much more physical. It was very that's what we call in the business, we lay it in. Like we're knocking the piss out of each other out there. The Road Warriors never were sports entertainers, they were wrestlers. Bruiser Brody was never a sports entertainer, he was a wrestler, and that's a big difference. I always say, a pro wrestler is a guy who's a legitimate badass. A sports entertainer is a guy who pretends to be one. I'm just not a big fan of the new leg slapping cartoon era. Not my thing at all.
It's funny. I can't. My uncle, let me tell you, my uncle used to make me watch WWE, and I'm like, I can't watch this. It's so
it used to be so much
fake.
Fun. That was like,
yeah, it's. I mean, there's some companies out there. It's getting better. WWE is definitely very catered to children and cartoony, and it's silly.
Growing up, that was the thing. It was WWE, and then all the different wrestlers on there. I grew up with like watching The Rock and. What was it? Rey Mysterio, Rikishi. I thought Rikishi was hilarious, especially when he I think he sat on the ref's like face or something in one match.
The same face, man. He'd get you in a corner and you'd be sitting on your ass at turnbuckle, and this 400-pound Samoan would rub his bare ass all over your face. Yeah, man. On that end of that stick, man. I'm telling you, that's brutal, But he's a good dude, man. Keisha's a great guy, man. I've had the opportunity to work with him a little bit at TNA when I was there. He's a super nice guy, man. Very talented. The whole Samoan, you won't find a Samoan of the Samoan dynasty who can't wrestle and who isn't a great athlete. They're amazing. Like I've worked with so many guys from the Samoan dynasty, Rikishi, Ming, just all these different guys, and they're amazing. They're amazing athletes, man. It's just something in their DNA that just, they can be 450 pounds and still be the most athletic guy you've ever seen. It's crazy.
I don't get that. That's good genetics right there. That's like Superman genetics. They always seem to be the most physical people. Even
every Samoan you'll ever meet is cousins with The Rock. I don't know how that works, but if you're Samoan, The Rock is your cousin. That's the way it works, man.
Like, wait, how does this work? Oh, we're all from the same island. We're all cousins,
It's got to be, man, because every Samoan I've ever met in the wrestling business is related to The Rock somehow,
Like, I'm friends with his cousin's sister. Like, so everybody knows him,
Do you have any rivals?
As far as like, you mean like shoot, like really people I don't like, or are you talking about like as far as
wrestling rivals? How about wrestling rivals?
I mean, once again, anybody, a lot of what they're always changing. The storylines are always changing, the matches, the angles are always changing. So, 25 years in, I've had some great rivalries and some great guys. Wrestling business.
At the end of the day, you guys are still friends, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like anything else, man. I mean, there's people in the business that are great people. There's people in the business that are shit. I mean, it's like same thing with, the music industry or actors or plumbers or electricians. I mean, there's going to be people in that business that are good, cool people. And there's going to be people that are shitbags. I mean, it's just like any other business, They're great guys and there's, shitheels that nobody wants to deal with,
Is there anyone that you wanted to wrestle that you didn't get to wrestle with?
Man, there's so many guys. I mean, that's a never-ending list. I mean, yes, of course. And there were guys that passed away before I actually was in the business and whatever. A good friend of mine who recently passed away, Road Warrior Animal, Joseph Laurinaitis. Part of that, half of the greatest tag team there's ever will be in professional wrestling, the Road Warriors. That's my favorite tag team. I grew up idolizing those guys. They influenced me heavily, and Joe has done some managing here before he passed away of some wrestlers. He managed the War Kings, and lo and behold, long story short, we were supposed to work together. He was going to manage me, and we were going to do shows together, go to Japan, and I was going to be, Goth Black, managed by Road Warrior Animal, because when I wrestle, I wear the face paint and big spike collars and everything, and it had come to be that Joe was going to work with me, and my business is called Giving You the Rub, like having a veteran work with you and help you and open doors for you. And I was so excited about that because I idolized the guy and I love him. I got to be very good friends with him before he passed. And then he passed away. And it was like, not only did I lose a brother, but this dream I had since I was a kid of being a road warrior, working with the road warriors, anything road warrior was, Valhalla to me, and it's having to actually start to come true. And sadly having it taken away, and all the evolution was very close to you, just really sucked. So that was something I was really looking forward to. So, 2020 can suck it. It's been the worst year ever. I just lost so many guys in the wrestling business who were friends of mine that have passed away. It's just been a horrible, horrible year for everything involved.
Sorry.
I agree.
I just want to give you a big hug. Give you a big hug. 2020 was really bad. We don't want to go there. But it was bad. I think 80 million Americans think that last year was really bad.
It was so horrible. And I try not to be one of those guys, man. You see like the music awards and everybody's giving their political views. And I mean, like, dude, you're an actor. Shut the fuck up and act. You're a singer. Shut the fuck up and sing. I mean, it's just, so I try not to be that guy, but it's really hard not to, when you see so much abundant stupidity, it's hard to hold it in. I don't want to get on a soapbox and, preach about politics because I hate it when people do that. And I have to sit there and listen to it. But, at some point you just go, man, a little bit of common sense would really go a long way right now,
Or how about just having an open mind? A lot of people have been closed-minded lately. I've never seen so many people so close-minded.
I call them sleepy sheepy. They just sleepy sheepy. Do what you're told.
A lot of sheeple.
Wow. But I am so excited. So everybody wants to know, who is your uncle?
Shit, the $1 million question. Yep. My uncle is none other than the Texas rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin is my uncle.
He's awesome.
He's amazing. He was tag team partners with my dad, Rod Price. They were the California Studs, and this is long before they were turned into who they were. Back then, Steve had long blonde hair. He was stunning, Steve Austin. My dad was Rugged Rod. They were the California Studs, and they had like the blonde mullets and the rainbow colored booty shorts, but they were like 250, 300 pounds jacked. I mean, it was, a very 80s kind of thing, man. They did not, look the way they look now. And Steve was definitely not, the rattlesnake. He was stunning, Steve. And, but yeah, my dad and Steve were tag team partners for many, many years before they went their separate ways and did their own thing. But yeah, that's Uncle Steve. I reference him in, promos and stuff, and people out of it because, it's like, I could evidently, I could do him well. So I'm like, the other day I'm on the phone. I call him Uncle Steve. He said, "What?" I said, I said, "This sorry son bitch come walking the ring." He said, "What?" I said, "Stop a mud hole in his ass and walk that son bitch dry." So evidently I sound a lot like him. I could do a pretty good imitation, If it makes people laugh, man, I'm all about it. It's a cool thing, man. Wrestling is in my veins. It's in my blood. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love professional wrestling. I fucking hate sports entertainment, but I love professional wrestling.
Is there any other sport that you like besides wrestling?
Of course, well, the MMA, UFC, any type of mixed martial arts. I love combat sports,
Yes.
and I love it. I mean, I miss doing it. I mean, I still train and I still try to, still like doing what we call roll, train with people, work with them. But like, at this point, I'm not trying to start a brand new career as a professional fighter. My body's, 25 years of wrestling, my body's, beat the hell already. It's still, still going, but still going strong, man. But yeah, at this point, it's not the time to go, "Hey, I think I'll start a career as an MMA fighter."
Yeah, don't do too much now.
No, man. I found what pays the bills, man. And I love wrestling. And I mean, I still love to practice mixed martial arts. I still love to train, but I'm not, disillusional and being like, "Oh, I'm going to start a brand new career." The music thing now, wrestling. Wait, now I'm going to be an MMA fighter professionally. Now those guys are.
I'm sticking with.
Who is your favorite fighter?
Mixed martial arts fighter.
Yep.
Man, it's real tough because I love Randy Couture, and I love Chuck Liddell. I'm an old school guy,
Oh,
And
yeah.
those guys put it on the map.
Rampage was my favorite.
Yeah, good Rampage Jackson, man. He's a character, I mean, and it's funny because MMA started borrowing so much for wrestling with the shit talking and the promos and the pyro to the ring. Like before, they just walk out there and didn't say anything, touch gloves and went to swinging. Now it's production, it's a show, it's which is cool. I mean, it adds to it, but it's just really funny how much it's crossed over. We've got, obviously Brock Lesnar, amazing career as a professional wrestler. Went to MMA, had an amazing career in MMA, went back to wrestling, went back to MMA, went back to wrestling. I mean, there's a lot of guys
confusing there for a second. I'm like, wait, are you crossing over to wrestling, or are you going to be an MMA fighter? Are you doing both? I'm confused.
No, I don't. I love to train MMA. I am not trying to be a professional MMA fighter, man. My body's beat to hell, and I love wrestling. I have no illusions of becoming a pro fighter at this time. I have had professional fights before I got into wrestling and enjoyed it, but wrestling is where I'm at now. I love wrestling. I love the wrestling business. I'm not trying to never say if someone wants to offer me a bunch of money, man, I'll go to an octagon, sure. I'll beat the piss out of somebody.
$1 million.
Yeah,
we want to see
about $1 million bucks,
you fight.
Hey, man, you have boots will travel, man. If someone wants to pay me, I mean, whatever it takes. But I mean, I've got a really good career. Wrestling has been very good to me, up until, like I said, this year when everything's just been shut down and it's killed the wrestling business. It's horrible right now. It's in the music business as well. I mean, I have friends that play in bands, and I've got my own little side rock and roll band on the side, and we can't even gig out now. I play in a band called Shotgun Savior. I sing and play guitar. And it's just America's last great rock and roll band, man. God, guns, glory, and just ass kicking, rock and roll. And it's great, and we sound amazing in our rehearsal space. But unfortunately, that's about the only place we can play right now, because even if you get a show in a bar or somewhere, it's half house. If they normally 100 people, they're only allowed to have 35. I mean, it's just and there's, of course, I can't pay the musicians what they should be paid because they can't have the crowd they should have, and it's destroying the economy. Entertainment business is getting destroyed. Regular mom and pop businesses are getting destroyed. Like it's killing it, man. It's killing everything.
Yeah. What state are you in again? I
Atlanta.
Oh, the big G.
Oh yeah, man. It's a nut house over here, man.
Oh,
Thank God I'm not in California or Seattle, but Georgia. Oh man, it'd be local news. Insane wrestler takes out fuckload of people. I couldn't. I'm not real good. Like I'm one of those guys, man. Live and let live. Like whatever you do is what you do. As long as you don't interfere in my space or whatever, then do what you do, man. But when you start trying to put your values on me, or force yourself onto me, or make me believe what you want to believe, then no, that's where I draw the line. I don't try to force my views on anyone, so please don't try to force yours on me. It's kind of the way I look at it. Live and let live. But when you start trying to tell me you have to wear this, like, I'm trying not to get too politically, you have to wear this mask, and you have to don't go out of your house at 10 o'clock, and
the same thing.
Well, I know we're all thinking the same thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just, if it makes you feel comfortable to wear one, then wear one in the shower when you're driving or whatever dumb shit you want to do. Fine. It's to me, and this is just my opinion. Once again, my opinion. No disrespect to anyone. If you wearing a mask is like building a chain link fence around your backyard trying to keep bugs out. I mean, it's a pretty, the deadliest. Here's a question. I'm not going to get on down the political rabbit hole here, but here's a question. If this is the most deadly virus and it's toxic and all this, why are there no biohazard disposable areas for gloves and masks anywhere?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know how many people have used the same mask over and over again?
Right. There's no biohazard disposal facilities. There's no bins set up at your local, shopping center. No, deadliest virus in history, and yet there's no place for disposal.
Yeah. Well, the good news is the flu is gone, so that's great news.
That disappeared.
There's no more flu.
Seriously.
There's no more flu. Okay.
To COVID. That's.
But I have a question for you from
Sure.
Andy. Andy Ritter says, "What's your favorite promotion you've worked for, and favorite person to work with?"
Favorite promotion I have worked for as far as the big leagues, WCW, hands down. As far as independent shows, Stranglehold Championship Wrestling. And I love all the companies I work for. That's no disrespect to anybody, but if I had to like pick the top two for whatever reasons it may be, those would be the two. As far as someone I love working with, man, I have worked with so many talented guys. It's just it's hard to pick one. You know, I mean, I've had great matches with so many great guys. Loved working in WCW. Got to work the Steiner brothers. When I say work, I mean wrestle. That's how we talk. But I got to wrestle the Steiner brothers. You know, it was great. You know, love wrestling those guys. Anybody WCW, man, I just had a blast. There's so many talented people. You know, so many. It has so much camaraderie and chemistry with so many different guys. Man, it's hard to pick like a favorite, you know, but I always enjoyed working with the Steiner brothers. For some reason, we just always seem to have that extra chemistry between Scotty, Rick, and I. So I love working with those guys.
They're amazing. I have a crazy, outlandish, wild, crazy question, but I just, you know, two guys, they're wrestling. And like, what if you all get into a position where like, you know, things end up in your face that you ordinarily wouldn't have in your face? Does that make you uncomfortable when somebody else's junk is in your face?
I mean, honestly, things are moving so fast in there and the crowd and the adrenaline, and you don't really, I'm not saying you don't notice it, but it's not, you're not focused on it. You know, it's just, you know, there's certain moves and things happen and, you know, you wind up in weird, you know, placement or whatever, but it's moving so fast. It's like you're sitting there for 5 minutes with, you know, this going on. I mean, it happens just because wrestling is a physical sport. And with some of the moves, you're going to wind up, you know, probably in a place you don't want to spend a lot of time there, but it's so fast paced and so adrenaline flying and the crowd going crazy. You really don't notice it or focus on it because it's usually not a situation that lasts too long because we're constantly moving and, you know, doing moves and wrestling. So you're not just sitting there in one predicament for a long period of time.
Has it ever happened to you?
I mean, if it I'm sure it has, but I don't remember because, like I said, it was so quick or something. If his foot slipped and you know whatever, I mean, you know, unless you're getting a stink face from Rikishi, which we talked about, I mean, you know, at that point, you know, you're there. There's nothing you can do about it. But you know, I've never had any. Remembered it, you know, and thank God I never had to take that from him. You know, I wrestled him, but it was at TNA and it was dark matches, and he was past doing that at that time. He moved on to something else. So I was like, oh, dodge that bullet, you know. But you know, if I do, it happened. I mean, it was momentarily, and I don't remember because it wasn't anything that stood out. It was just part of, you know, somebody slipped and something hit or something, you know, but nothing really I can, you know, traumatized by or anything.
So I was curious, what injuries have you had due to wrestling? Like what's kind of common, so to speak, and what have you had? You know,
I've been very, very fortunate. I've never had anything too dramatic happen to me. I mean, I've had bumps and bruises and spraying this, but I mean, as far as like major shit, like the worst thing that's ever happened to me is this guy went up top rope. He's like 450 pounds, man, and he was going to do this backflip land on me thing or whatever. And I'd seen him do it. So I was like, okay, I know he can do it, but I said, man, I hope he remembers this ring is 18 feet and not 24. And right as I'm watching the sun eclipse and this 450-pound guy come crashing down, I'm like, oh shit, he didn't remember the ring was smaller. And his shins went right across my face, broke 2 teeth out, fractured my jaw, knocked me unconscious, man. I mean, it was brutal. I had his boot laces, the eye holes of his boot was like down the side of my face on an imprint, and it was just a shitty day, man, because my tooth actually broke off into his shin. They had to take a pair of tweezers and pull the piece of my tooth out. Yeah, that sucked, man. That was a rough night, you know. And I'm unconscious. They get me back to the dressing room because I was out cold and I was snoring. I mean, he just cracked me right across the face. I'm in the dressing room like, am I wrestling next? Like, you already wrestled, man. What happened? Well, you got knocked out. Do I still have the belt? I won, right? I still got my belt, right? Still a champ, man. You're good. You're still a champ. All right.
Give me a tooth back.
Had a concussion, man. Evidently, it was pretty entertaining for some of the guys because I was just, when you've been knocked out and you got a concussion, like you talk silly shit because you're not exactly sure what's going on. You know, it's kind of half reality, half not. You know, you're just, you know, you're kind of talking crazy shit. So, you know, guys got a kick out of it. Luckily, it was a minor concussion and, you know, some broken teeth. But other than that, that's about the worst thing I've ever had happen.
Oh my God, broken teeth. So how do they fix that? How do they fix your teeth?
They went in with a tooth. I'm not a dentist. So I mean, it's like when you chip your tooth, how they repair it with a composite, I think it is, or whatever.
Okay.
Like a
And my
glue.
teeth were broken, so they didn't like get knocked out of my head, but they were broken. Broken off like the tips of it. And they took the composite and put it on there and capped them off. I guess I'm not sure. Like somebody does, I don't know how it works, but when you chip your tooth, they put the little stuff that makes it look like the hole is fixed. I had composite put on my teeth where it broke them off.
Okay.
So how long do you train? Like, do you train for a few hours each day, or do you do a weekly schedule? What do you do?
As far as like gym work, I train 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. I do an hour of cardio and I do an hour of, I'm a power lifter guy. Like I lift heavy. There is no light day. It's all
Awesome.
heavy. So I when I got into wrestling, like I said, I was 165 pounds and I knew my dad's like, you're going to have to, your whole lifestyle is going to have to change. You're going to get bigger and this and that. So I started training with a power lifter, a championship power lifter. I'm like, well, if I need to get big fast, and I've kept that mentality. I've always trained like a power lifter, and I mean, I'm 6'4", 325, and I'm a jacked, lean, 325. That's not things most people put two together, oh, he's 325 and he's a lean 325.
Yeah.
Tell me, right.
That's, I mean, I've got my peak bench press was, I do a 500-pound bench press. My dad in his heyday did 550. I can't even on my best day with a protein shake touch that, but,
Wow.
yeah, well, 500 was my max, and that was, I wasn't repping with him. I'm not going to bullshit. I mean, it was one time, and I thought I was going to shit my pants, but I got it up there, got it down. But
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've always trained as a power lifter, man. I've always just like I said, Road Warriors. Those guys were power lifters, and going back and watching Hawk and Animal, like I wanted to be them. That's who I wanted to be as a wrestler. I wanted to be a freaking Road Warrior, so I trained like one.
Now, did you ever compete in powerlifting at all, or was it just
No.
powerlifting? Okay.
Just get it to put on mass for wrestling. I never compete. I always have enough trouble just trying to make it in wrestling. Man, I can't do anything else or compete in anything else. But I trained with a power lifter, and that's always the mindset I've had because that's what I did in my beginning for so long. And I've tried other workouts and things, and it just doesn't get the job done. I mean, it's just maybe my body's used to this, but that's what I do best. I just, I superset, I power lift on supersets, which is insane. Just, basically beat the brakes off myself because, man, 325 can go south real quick. I mean, it's not, something that you can just easily maintain. You got to hit it every day. That's why I do, 5 hours a day. 5 days a week, 5 days and 2
5 hours a day. I'm like, wow.
That's a lot of food too.
Yeah, man. Sorry.
Professionally. Oh my goodness.
That means you get to eat whatever you want to eat.
Yeah, I want to ask you.
What's the diet like?
Yeah, what's the diet like?
Shit. Complete shit. That's why I got to work out 2 hours a day, 5 days a fucking week, man.
Oh my goodness.
Shit. I say that. I mean, it's not great. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, I like pizza, man. I like shit. I got a sweet tooth, but that's the price you pay. I'm like, okay, well, if I'm not gonna have a militant diet, if I'm not gonna have this diet that's, amazing, then I'm gonna have to make up for it somewhere else. Okay, that means I'm gonna have to kill myself in the gym. Now, I don't go too crazy. I just don't eat the typical bodybuilder diet. I have done that. 8 grilled chicken breasts, 12 egg whites, 6 cans of tuna. I mean, I've done all that. And at this point, like I've already got the size, I don't need to get any bigger. So it's just a matter of, I try not to go too crazy, but yeah, man, I'll have a cheeseburger. I'll eat a pizza. I don't eat it every night. I try to get a balance, but I'm not fanatical like some guys. Like, yeah, man, I'll fuck up a cheesecake, bro. No, I mean,
oh my God.
That's that one right there. She loves cheesecake.
That's my
oh yeah. But I mean, you pay the price. I do, I eat some cheesecake and then, I go do, power cleans for an hour. You got to pay the price, So if I'm going to do it, then I know, okay, man, you go ahead and have that.
What's your favorite flavor cheesecake?
Oh God,
cherry topping, man. Cherry cheesecake is my favorite.
See, mine's pumpkin. Oh my God, pumpkin.
Oh, I am such a uber white girl with pumpkin spice. I am such a hipster white girl. It is ridiculous. I get pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin bread, pumpkin cupcakes, pumpkin spice.
Oh my God, I love you already.
I am such a Becky when it comes to that, man. It's so bad.
Becky, let's go get some pumpkin latte.
Oh man, I love it. And they're like, I go to the Starbucks and get the pumpkin spice frappe. Like, you want whipped creams and cherry? I'm like, yes, everything, sprinkles. I want it to look as unicorn, as gay rainbow unicorn as you can make it. That's what I want it to look like.
That's all right. Oh my God, that's funny. I imagine you like eating like 25 pancakes like The Rock. The Rock eats so many pancakes. I'm like, how the hell do you eat all that?
When like I said, everybody's got their own method to work. So everybody's body chemistry is different. So everything's gonna be different for everybody. When I first started trying to put on mass, like I had my breakfast, it was ungodly, man. It was like 12 egg whites, no yolks, 3 grilled chicken breasts, half a grapefruit, 8-ounce glass of skim milk, protein shake. I mean, it was like I had to eat every 2 hours because I was trying to put on mass. And The Rock is massive. The guy, you don't understand how big he is. I'm 6'4" and 325. He's got to be like 6'7".
I didn't know you were that tall,
man. I mean, The Rock is, you think like he's a big guy. When you stand next to him, you're like, holy shit, he really is. I mean,
Kevin Hart is always looking up.
Yeah.
Poor Kevin Hart.
Good dude, man. What you see is pretty much him. I mean, he's a straight up guy. I mean, he's a really good guy. Dwayne's a cool cat, man. I've met him a couple of times, and my dad, you don't know this, a lot of people don't. When The Rock first came to WWE, or WWF back then, he was Flex Havana was his name. And he had this weird pineapple haircut wearing these, fringe outfits, and they were just trying to make him like this Samoan island boy kind of thing or whatever. And my dad worked with him for like 6 months and wrestled him every night to help him learn, of course, his family's all full of wrestlers, but to help him actually learn and be on the road and how it is, my dad actually worked with him for the first 6 months, one-on-one, and helped actually train The Rock. So he worked with my dad for 6 months. He was at WWF.
Yeah, he said he came over with absolutely nothing. Like he knew what he wanted to do.
$7,
and
right? $7.
Yeah, I think it was like $7 in his pocket.
Yeah, he was. His father is Rocky Johnson, was a famous professional wrestler. The Samoan, everybody. I mean, he's related to a lot of really top guys. His father was Chief Peter Maivia, famous wrestler back in the 60s and 70s. I mean, so it's his whole family's full of wrestlers. So he grew up around the business just like I did. He grew up all around it. So getting into wrestling to him wasn't something strange. He'd been around the business his whole life. But when he first came in, you still have to learn how it works. You got to learn how to, the psychology. There's a lot to learn, even though you grew up in it. I grew up in it too. But when it came time to actually learn how to do it, man, that's a whole other ballgame. You watch it on TV and kind of understand it and be around it. When you actually have to get in there, walk between those ropes and perform, it's a whole other level, man.
There was did you have a question?
No, go ahead.
Oh, there was a question earlier from Andy Ritter. Can you put that back on? Okay, the question was, how long were you in WCW and during which years? And what's your favorite moment in wrestling? It's a good question.
God, man, whew. I was at WCW for 3 years, and it was the last 3 years they were open. I don't have it off the top of my head the dates. I've been hitting the head a lot with steel chairs, so you got to kind of bear with me. And I have been known to hit that gimmick stick to get my head right. So between that, it was the last years WCW was open. I was there for those last 3 years. I hope that answers the question. You can Google it, find out when they closed, and go 3 years back, and that's when I was there. As far as favorite wrestling moment, man, there's so many. I had the opportunity to go to Japan when I was at WCW. They did a talent exchange with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that was one of the greatest experiences ever, because I'm new in the business and whatever, and had got to the point to where they thought enough of me to be part of the talent exchange, and went over there and got to wrestle in Japan, and that was just like a whole nother world, man. That was so, I felt like I was in Kiss, I was like such a fucking rock star, like in Japan, and it was just amazing, and it was the most incredible scenery and culture and history. So that's probably my most amazing experiences I've ever had. I've got a lot of wrestling stories concerning the boys, but as far as an experience going to Japan, it was just amazing. It was, I would love to go back, when things hopefully get back to normal, but it was an amazing experience. I would go to Japan and wrestle again in a heartbeat.
No, what was Japan like? I'm just kind of curious. When you're there, I'm assuming you towered over everybody, and
Yeah, man. I mean, they're not all the tall guys. He's 6'4", but I was trying a lot of the wrestlers. And the funny story, at the time I was tag team with a guy named Omen. We were Omen and Goth, and Omen is one of my best friends in the world. He passed away a few years ago. Fell asleep driving home one night, and God bless him. But he was my best friend. Before we got in the wrestling business, we were best friends. We wound up being partners in the wrestling business. And we went over to Japan, and he went with me because we were doing a tag team. And in Japan, they hit a lot harder than they do here in America. They lay it in, man. I mean, it's pretty much like a street fight. I mean, it's wrestling, but they don't pull punches that much.
For entertainment, like,
It's not sports entertainment. It's wrestling, man. These cats will because they're quick. They're smaller guys, man, but they are lightning fast, and most of them are legitimate martial artists. Okay. So we go over there, man. At the time, I'm probably like, God, I guess it was about 275 at the time, 265, 75. Troy was about 265, 75, big guys, And we go in the dojo to train with these guys, man. And these little guys are lighting us up, man. They're kicking the piss out of us, And I'm like, holy shit. I mean, they were just like tagging us. And we took a little break. Then went over to Omen, Troy, and I said, man, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, dude, I don't know, but I ain't taking this shit no more. And I'm like, we're over here as guests. I don't want to piss off the wrong people. He's like, dude, they're going to hit me. I'm going to hit them back. He's like, we're going to go back in there, and we're going to be us, and we're going to do what we do, and we're going to show them, And I was like, oh, man, we're going to wind up in a Japanese jail. We're going to get sent back, fired. I'm like, but at that point, it's like, well, what else can you do? I mean, at that point, you sit there and get our ass kicked or fight back,
Yeah.
So we go back into training, we go back in there, man. We get in the ring, and, man, we're just suplexing these cats out of their boots, man. It's suplex, power bomb, power slam, like beating the shit out of these guys, man. And Muda was in charge of the whole thing at the time, the great Muda. And Muda calls us over to the side, and he goes, he said, hey, how is everything? And he spoke broken English, and he said, you do me a favor. He said, you take it easy on the young boy. And my partner, Troy, goes, Muda, you tell young boy they better take it easy on us. And Muda goes, oh, no, they know you shooter now. They don't fuck with you. Oh, no. No, they know you for real. You real deal. They don't fuck with you no more. And it was still very snug when we wrestled, because that's just the way they do it. They believe in making it believable. But they weren't quite kicking us as hard as they were. We were still getting tagged, but when we started, sending them flying through the air, they kind of got the idea, like, okay, these guys, they test you, and when they go over there, their training is very old school. Like, they live in a dojo, and they have to wash the floors and wash the ring, and the other veteran wrestlers, they have to prepare their meals, do their laundry. It is very old school. It's like going through a monastery, except you're training to wrestle, not to be a monk. But they're very disciplined. So when you go over there as an American, they want to see if you got it. They want to see if you're tough. They want to see if you deserve to be there, and they test you. And if you pass the test, then you are welcomed in. And if you don't, then you're sent packing. And that was our test. They got in there, and they said, well, we're going to see if these guys are big, but are they for real? Because a lot of guys, man, they're jacked and stacked, but they couldn't bust a grape in a food fight, man. I mean, that's the thing. Some of the guys you think are the toughest guys in wrestling are the biggest pusses you've ever seen. And the guys you think, oh, that guy couldn't fight, is the most legitimate badass you've ever known. So it's a crazy business like that, man. It's who you think is bad really isn't, and who you think is nothing is probably one of the baddest guys in the locker room.
Oh my God, you are so fun. Everybody is saying, oh, he's such a cool guy. He's so fun. We love your story.
Thank you. Buy my t-shirts.
Wait, where can we buy your t-shirt? I want to buy a t-shirt.
Actually, I'm getting some printed up, but if you go to my Facebook, is under some guy, named Logan Price. I don't know who he is, but anyway, you can get in touch with me with him on there, Goth Black, the old school outlaw Goth Black, and they'll be going up on my Facebook soon. Like I said, I haven't had any printed up. I sold out, but because there's no shows, it's like everything's shut down. It's like, well, am I going to get 500 t-shirts printed up sitting in my office, stacking up, my cat's laying on them. So, but I am going to, now that things hopefully are starting to pick back up and open up, God willing, I'll be printing some up and putting ads out there on Facebook and, things for sale and that kind of thing. So
I'm excited. I'll buy one. I have
a little.
Well, wait, if I buy one of your shirts, you got to buy one of my show shirts. How about that?
I can do that.
You could do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mine are available now.
Ah, okay. Awesome. That's awesome. I definitely will.
Go to D Radio.
Yeah. Awesome.
But they're there. There's another question. Andy's got some really good questions. So I'm a little can't see the computer this far, so I'm gonna get a little closer. So wait, what was it like towards the end? Question mark. We've heard from so many different people what it was like leading into 2001. Can you give your insight on what it was like being during those pivotal years?
Are you talking about as far as the wrestling business or life in general? I'm trying to answer the question correctly.
I would assume wrestling, right, Andy? Are you talking about wrestling with this question?
It's Andy. He's absolutely talking wrestling.
Okay, good.
Okay, all right.
Just to confirm, anything more Andy says, so you guys know, is definitely wrestling.
Okay, good.
Wrestling.
Thanks, Thomas.
For wrestling, I mean, it's obviously, I mean, it has absolutely sucked 2020 for any business. I mean, whether you're, you know, a hair salon or a wrestler or musician, you've been limited. You haven't been able to play gigs, perform, do shows. It's horrible. It's killed the industry, you know, not just my industry, but, you know, I got plenty of friends. Like I said, I play in a band as well. I got a lot of friends that are musicians that are sitting at home not making $1 right now, you know, because where can you play? Everything is, if you can play somewhere, it's quarter house capacity or half house. A venue that holds 10,000 people can now only sell 5,000 tickets, and they have to be so many feet apart and all this, you know. So it's hurt my business just like it's hurt, you know, a lot of other businesses. You know, it's the entertainment business is taking a beating as far as music and wrestling and martial arts. I mean, Dana White had to go to an island to have a UFC. It was like freaking Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Like a UFC fight on an island, you know, like Shao Kahn, Dana White, you know, and it was just, you know,
they canceled them all here in Illinois. We can't. Good luck on finding a show here. You have to go over, I believe, Indiana. Indiana is having shows, but I mean, it was tough. A lot of people had to fight to be able to do things and have shows. It's just insane. I'm not going to go
just hope it doesn't get worse. I mean, the thing is, not to get all, because you start getting political, then everything goes to shit. But you know, it's truly noted that certain people think that the answer to all this is to shut everything down again for longer and curfews and this and that. And you know, I don't think that a lot of businesses can survive another shutdown. I'm talking major corporations, not just my business, but you know,
I get a tent and live outside.
Kill the economy. You know, I mean, here's the thing, and this is where I'm going to try to reel it in after this one. Okay, so this is where I say the common sense factor, whatever. So everybody's talking about the stimulus checks or whatever, and yes, certain individuals wanted it to be 2,000, certain individuals gave us 600, whatever. Okay. When all this went down, right now, the powers that be have given Pakistan millions of dollars to research transgendered individuals. Okay. What? There are homeless vets on our street right now that serve for their country that are being taken care of, and we're getting nothing for them. But let's go ahead and give, you know, India millions to research transsexuals.
Oh, that makes
we have plenty of those here. We can research here in our own states.
No, and that's it. Well, no, it's their reason. That's what I'm saying. It's not even like we're benefiting from the research. You know, Pakistan said we want to research transgender people. It's going to take a lot of money, and the United States went, "Oh, well, here, take a few million for us." You know, we don't need it. You know, and it's just
you know what the real deal is. The real deal is they're going to send the money to a certain individual, and then they're going to launder the money back, and it's going to go back into the pockets of those who are in charge here in the States.
I mean, it's just to the point to where, you know, like I said, you're not trying to, because you got to. Entertainment business, you cannot, unless you just want to piss everybody off, you know, state your opinions or whatever. And I just end it like this. You know, people ask me, what are you for? Who are you for? Whatever. I said, let me ask you a question. Okay. Without even telling you what my political preference is, if I told you I believe in freedom, I support the military, I support police officers, I believe in God, guns, glory, and family, and I'm a proud American, you already know what my political stances. I don't have to tell you, but just by saying those things, you already know. And that's the thing, is every American should have those values. Now, if I told you I want to defund the police, you know, I want to make sure that everybody is mandatory, has to take a vaccine. If you shouldn't go out of your house after 10 o'clock, then you already know what side of the fence I'm on. I don't have to tell you.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, it's just.
I love you. I just want to give you a big Rachael hug. Like,
I appreciate it. I'm just the guy trying to do the right thing, man. You know, I just. I see so many people just following along, man. I'm like, think for yourself. Don't be a sheep. Be a wolf, man. You know. I mean, you know, all you can do at this point is just hope it doesn't get worse. And if it does, I think that there's going to be, a war coming, man. And if it comes, then here's the thing that I look at, because people are like, oh my God, what if, the war starts and this and that? Okay. The other side can't even change a car tire.
Yep.
I'm not real worried about them fighting military combat specialists. That whole thing will take like 45 minutes, man. We're done. I mean, it's like, I see these guys with their man buns and their tattoos and their, skinny jeans, and I'm like, you think you're like a lumberjack, but you can't change a car tire, man. I mean, these guys are not going to pose any threat to anyone. Like, you're going to go to war with military combat specialists and good old boys and bad. Yeah, okay, I want to watch that. I'll buy a ticket to that, But it's just at some point you got to stand up for yourself, man. You got to say, I'm not going to do this. And man, I get dirty looks. I don't wear a freaking mask. I don't. Sorry. Don't. I won't. I don't. My parents tried to put me on a curfew when I was a kid. It didn't work. It damn sure ain't going to work now. I'm not going to, get a curfew. I'm not going to, I'm not going to drink the Coke.
You got a man crush.
You got a man crush.
Man, just.
He's like, I'm totally heterosexual, but I think I got a man crush right here.
Well, we are two sexy beasts, baby.
Oh my God, you wonderful, amazing man, you. Do you mind if we take a potty break and then can you stay on with Doc?
Absolutely.
I'd love to have you chat with Dr. Howard. He's amazing. He's a good friend of mine. He's wonderful. So we're going to take a potty break, guys. Sorry, Dustin's got to go potty.
Why is it me? I gotta go.
You're the one who asked for the break, not me. It's the bodybuilder issues, I tell you.
We drink a lot of water, man. We drink a lot of water.
It's a lot of water. 128 ounces of water?
I drink a gallon a day. In a 24-hour period, I try to drink 1 gallon.
One question before we go. It says, have you been stunned by Steve?
Oh, that's right.
No, I've never been stunned by Steve, but he's got a couple of elbows of me coming off the coffee table.
Oh, oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna be right back with Spit and Fire with Rachael Blaze and Tarzan. Potty break.
What's up, family? This is AM and the PM, only on A2D radio, and I can strongly say to the people, and I'm pretty confident saying this, maybe the last in-studio show for a while, the NBA officially shut down as of minutes ago.
Feet left. What?
I'm fucking done. I'm done. I'm fucking done with this.
What? What is going on?
I cannot believe this shit, bro.
Pack your bags now, Howie, if that's your pick. If that's your pick, pack your bag. Disgusting. Disgusting. Ooh, Howie ain't gonna miss. Howie don't. And this is Howie, guys.
Really fucking hurts?
More than she already is.
Oh, and she destroyed. What the hell is this?
Oh yeah! What the hell? What the hell was that? What the fuck is going on here?
The only thing I can do is go drown myself now because I lost. There's no way.
Balls. Oh, he's got a hold and he's moving a little too fast. Oh, he punched through. Good dive. I'm sure he's not hurt. He really punched. All right. Be nervous too, Diane. I didn't see him come up to the water, and I thought maybe I was wrong for a minute, but you can see the way he punched through, and I'm sure we'll see it in slow motion. All right, falls. This is what gives him the control. Now you see what he does right here. He kicks through, and that's what got him down safely.
There's Lee.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You see that dog? You see Cutter?
So, Ben, help me out. Just shoot the ball. Work on what you're not good at and come back and help this city out. If not, take you and your sister that's always on Twitter that got something to say about my city and get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
I told you they loved them.
Yes.
I told you they loved them. You thought it was smoke and mirrors, Tom. I told you they loved them.
The gadget toy. We got a little spinner. We were looking for a PlayStation 5. We got a fucking spinner around. That's what we came in here. Wait all this time for.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Daddy!
What's up, fam? Welcome to A2D Radio.
And he missed it.
You missed it. Do you believe this shit?
Missed it. Missed it. Missed it. That's, you know what that's for? That's for the guy that said, yeah, looks like Coach Screw Wilson. Fucking moron. Good work, buddy. Mushed that one, didn't you? Fuck. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, my God. Old mush mouth.
Matt, you know what you need to do one night, though? Like, down the road, you just need to come sleep over one night again. Like, not like nothing sexual, family, you know?
If I get 5 women and they're all in the same room with me, we're going at it at 110%.
I'm in a warehouse at UPS 50, 60 hours a week, so you blow me out of the water.
You're in a whorehouse?
Warehouse.
Oh, warehouse.
Warehouse.
I work at UPS.
Who wants to make a damn play up front?
There we go.
Strip that!
Here we go.
Got him! Is that BG? Is that BG? 2020s, buddy. They got the best turfs around. I ain't going.
And there's DK Metcalf up the seam, and he's gone. He's gone. There was nobody around him. I don't know who was supposed to be covering him, but DK Metcalf is gone.
People say man's unrealistic.
Frank Vespi of the Fix in the Piece. Oh my God!
Oh.
What the fuck are you wearing, Frank?
I love it because every time you do it, I don't even know if you know you're doing it. You do the duck lips. You're like,
Oh my goodness.
I love it, man. I love being here. It's fucking awesome. I'm a little passionate right now. It's beautiful. It's fucking August. It's August playoff hockey. Fucking crack it like Will Ferrell. Let's go.
Jake, you want triple dick for
Triple dick. That's pretty funny. Snazzy there, Thomas. I don't know. What show was that? That was funny. We are back from our break, and we are here with Black Goth.
Goth Black.
For you, real quick. I was trying to find the name of your band.
Is it on Facebook?
Is it on Spotify at all?
No. We're just right now. It's Shotgun Savior. And right now, we're just getting ready to do the mix down on our demo. We've got a 12-song demo that we have put together, and we're in the master mix down now. At that point, in the next couple of months, it'll be released on Facebook. We're going to open a fan site. This is a brand new thing. It's myself and a guitar player named Sean Harp, who's a freaking amazing guitar player. And he and I are doing it all ourselves right now. Bass, vocals, drums, everything is just me and him, a two-man show. He plays bass, I play guitar, I sing, he sings. We're using a drum machine. At that point, we actually bring in a live bass player and drummer. But at this point, he and I do it all, and there's nowhere we can play gigs anyway. So at this point, we're just
play on our show.
I would love to, man. That'd be awesome.
Oh my God, yes!
That'd be awesome, man. Yeah, we're very much I take a rock and roll blender, a little Judas Priest, a little AC/DC, a little, it's very much a down and dirty, just ass kicking rock and roll band, man. We're just good grooving hard rock, classic Van Halen kind of stuff, man. It's just good grooving rock and roll.
Like, no, seriously, can you play guitar? Like, can you play the guitar before you go today?
Yeah, bring it out.
I'm not in my music. I have a studio upstairs, and I don't have my equipment handy, so to speak.
Okay, next time.
But next time, yeah, definitely. If I knew it was going to be, if you want me to, I would have set it up, but everything's in a whole other part of the house. It's in my music room and all that. But
that's awesome.
I've been since I was 7, man. I love it. I sing. I do lead vocals and guitar in the band I'm in now. And Sean does everything else. He's an amazing, talented guy. And once we get the demo done, then we'll actually bring in a live bass player and drummer. But now there's really no point because, like I said, we can't really gig anywhere anyway. I mean, not worth it. I mean, I'm not going to go, make $20.
Right.
Screw that, man. I don't pull out of my driveway.
It's a lot to do all that equipment and.
Yeah, I mean, I spent years before I ever got in the wrestling business being a starving musician, and nothing has changed. I mean, now it's, like I said, we're not going to play a gig for no money. I did that. I went through that years and years ago. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Amen. Folks don't get that.
I mean, luckily, with wrestling, I've got wrestling fans are the greatest fans in the world. They will stay by you. They will support you in other ventures. They're great. I cannot love them enough, man. If you say, hey, I've got a band, and I'm good friends with the guys in Fozzy, which is Chris Jericho fronts that band.
Oh.
And went to high school. Rich Ward, the guitar player for Fozzy, went to high school with him. We were best friends in high school, went to concerts together, jammed in garage bands together. The drummer for Fozzy, Frank, I've known for years. We bounced in nightclubs together years ago before we achieved success in our different ventures. His wife was actually my old roommate. My ties with Fozzy go deep, man. I wrestled with Chris Jericho at WCW. So, God bless them, man. They're out there trying to tour too, but it's hard because once again, even if they get a gig, okay, well, we can't sell 20,000 tickets. We can only sell 10.
Yeah.
Okay, guess what? That means you're not going to get paid for 20,000. You're going to get paid for 10. So, with your cost of touring is still the same. The gas is still the same price. Pyro is still the same price. I mean, nothing changes. You're still shelling out the money you're shelling out, but what you're recouping is not what it used to be. So it makes it even harder. It sucks, man, because music is such an awesome thing, and it's just the guys can't go out there and make a living doing what they're doing. It's horrible, man. I mean, I cannot wait to actually be able to go to a concert again and have fun. I mean, now if they do have a club that has live bands, you're 20 people, 6 feet apart, everybody's wearing a mask. It's just ridiculous, man. It's just.
I know what happened to the good old. I can't see people smiling. There's no emotion. Everybody's like, "Don't touch me. Don't come near me." It's like it is the most Twilight Zone thing I've ever experienced in my life.
What? Who remembers the Bubble Boy? Who remembers that movie?
Yeah,
Bubble Boy. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, those who are really needing to feel secure or safe.
Whoever needs a safety blanket,
we'll put you in the bubble.
Yep. Do you know the movie Mad Max with Mel Gibson was set in the year 2021?
Wow.
Really?
The movie Mad Max, the year that all this crazy stuff was happening, was 2021 in the movie.
Dude, you're gonna make me watch that movie tonight. You're gonna watch that movie tonight.
Wait a minute.
So we got our. We hold on. We got our second guest. Elite. He's the owner of Elite Sports Performance, and he is our chiropractor. Oh, Doc.
Hey, how are you?
Howard Fidler is on the show joining us, along with Black Goth.
Goth Black.
Goth Black.
Yeah, you can say Black Goth.
Oh my God, Goth Black. My bad. Oh my God.
I'm offended. That's very racist for you to call me Black Goth. I
know. I'm offended. I'm so sorry.
I am offended. I am offended.
Oh shit. We're about to cancel the show. That's why we have a disclaimer right there at the bottom.
Right?
We are not responsible. How are you doing, Doc?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh my God, it's been so long. And this is actually the first time I've actually had you on a show, I think, where I could see you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You were on the show with me and Steve, and all I could do was hear you.
Correct.
This is so exciting. I love it. It's so exciting. Get to see your face. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yay. So we were just talking to Goth Black.
Yeah. I was waiting on it too. I'm like, wait, you gotta get it. You gotta get it.
Oh my God. Okay. I got it.
You got it?
I got it. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Howard.
What was that?
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh gosh. So I've been a sports performance therapist, chiropractor, acupuncture, soft tissue, you name it, for going on, if we go back to the massage days, 28 years. And I've worked in just about every industry in the sports world there is, from WWE to the Olympics, NFL, NHL, UFC, plenty of UFC. Well, MMA in general.
Yes.
So UFC, Bellator, Invicta, King of the Cage, all the way down.
I still have your bracelet.
What's that?
I still have your bracelet. I don't think it works anymore, but
it's a little old. We'll get you a new Zionic, man.
It was a long one.
We'll take care of it. Yeah, and I'm also actually now still the director of sports performance for Zionics, but actually now the co-owner of the company. So,
oh my God! Congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah, I mean it's been a great ride. The last 9+ months have been crazy. I've gotten to work with literally one athlete since March.
Wow!
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Wow! So this whole thing in 2020 obviously has impacted you as well.
Oh yeah, I mean all my seminars that I teach canceled. And like I said, with all the bubble and the restrictions and everything else, I've been locked out of doing any performance work pretty much with any athlete. So
and you're in what state?
I'm in Minnesota.
Okay. What's it like there in Minnesota? All I hear is the big name states.
Right now, it's cold and snowy.
Oh.
We've probably got about 10 inches of snow on the ground right now.
Oh, nice.
And
we just got hit with it yesterday.
It's like
2 inches.
My friends in Texas said they got snow. How about Georgia? Did Georgia get snow?
No, it's been like Indian summer here. It's really weird. I mean, it's a little cold in the morning. It's in 30s and 40s in the morning. Come afternoon, we're in the 60s. It's weird.
That's awesome.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I mean, it's cold. I think it's about 12 degrees outside right now. So
let me ask you this. I mean, we got into the whole thing about 2020 and the big V thing, and we were talking about the bubble boy and being in a bubble. Yep. Look, I could see his face up there. I can see his face right now. I mean, obviously, what do you say about this, given the fact that you have to, you work with athletes, and I mean, obviously it was a struggle for you this year, but what can you say? How can somebody protect themselves? How can an athlete protect themselves from this big V?
I mean, it starts with nutrition and exercise. I mean, that's the worst part right now is, we're entering the time of year where unfortunately we're not outside. We're not getting as much exercise as we need. Our nutrition tends to change in the winter because we're not getting fresh fruits and vegetables and all the things that we need to be getting. We're definitely not getting sunlight so our vitamin D production's down. You just got to up these things. I mean, I do it every year. It doesn't change for me. I'm not changing anything. I'm not doing, other than one supplement I'm taking right now, nothing has changed for me as far as my nutrition and nothing that I tell the athletes to do. But it's the worst thing in the world. I mean, you look at the fact that, and I'm just going to take Minnesota alone. Mm-hmm. All right. They went out with all the gym owners and asked, because the gyms actually were pretty good about contact tracing. All right. And I'm not a fan of contact tracing.
I'm not either.
It is what it is. And if you took all the gyms in Minnesota, there was a 0.00003% infection rate of gym members. Now, that doesn't mean they got it at the gym. That means people that were members of gyms tested positive.
Mm-hmm.
0.00003%. Gyms are about the safest place you can be right now. One, because everybody there is exercising. They're trying to keep themselves healthy. If you have a cold or an upper respiratory infection, you're not in the gym.
Yep.
I'm not
Most people are not going to be in the gym with being sick.
And not only that, but where my daughter and I work out down at Planet Fitness, which I love. It's awesome. We stay. I was fine when they started the whole restriction. All right, so now it was like every third or second treadmill was open. No big deal. But everybody wipes their stuff down to start with.
Yes,
for this.
Responsible thing.
But the employee is there. You get off. You wipe it down. They're then secondarily wiping it down. It's not the safest.
We're making sure. We're double checking to make sure it's clean.
Right.
Person.
It's the safest place you could be. And now it's hilarious because they finally have reopened them again, and they're like, yeah, we're on. I don't know even what the percentage is, but like the one we go to, they're like, yeah, we can have up to 100 people at a time. And I'm like, have we ever had 100 people at a time in a year?
Right.
I started laughing because
but it's January. There might be a flood. I don't know. There might be a flood of people.
Resolution.
I literally don't think I've ever counted more than 35 people in that facility at a given time ever. But that's the thing. So, right now, just people need to stay active. And it's the worst, like I said, it's the worst thing in your world. So you're taking people, making them sedentary, and being sedentary lowers your immune system.
Yep.
And then you wonder why people are getting sicker. And I'm not even going to start getting into the fact that how the heck are there almost no cases of influenza?
Hello?
Right. It all went to the one virus, COVID.
Yeah. Right. There's no flu. I don't understand it.
Imagine.
All the symptoms match the flu.
Last year's flu vaccine magically cured influenza in 99% of people.
Yeah.
First time ever we've come.
Yeah.
I mean, and here's the thing. I'll tell everybody, look, this is a real virus. Not? It is. It's real. It exists. I know well over 100 plus people who have had it, including my daughter in Israel. Maddie had it. She recovered. I know one person personally who did die from it. Okay. It was my 80-plus-year-old cousin who had polio as a child. So guess what? His lungs were already compromised. All right. And it sucks. And it stinks that it happened. But the mere fact is, kids are not the closing the schools, doing all that stuff. It's been ridiculous. I mean, we've had more issues of teen depression, teen suicide, adults. You're closing. How many people have lost everything? Their businesses, everything over this. And why are we selectively deciding that? Oh, wait a second. For somehow it doesn't get to people in Target, but it does in the hardware store down the street from.
Yes.
Select places are safe. They're never going to get it.
And my favorite one.
Curfews. The curfews.
At 10 o'clock, the virus comes out.
It goes to sleep.
At 9:59, it's still asleep in the bar. But at 10 o'clock, the virus wakes up and starts partying. It's just.
It runs rampant at night. Didn't you know that?
Exactly. It's been crazy. And I mean, and I will say this. I mean, I was privileged enough to be able to work.
Oh God, there goes that word.
One MMA.
What's that word?
I know. One MMA. With one fighter this year, and the job that the promotion did was phenomenal. Okay, and it was one of the big ones. I'm not going to say which, but it was one of the big ones. But here was the thing. All right, so we got there. We had to go to our rooms, wake up the next morning. We all got tested. Then we had to go back. We're quarantined to our rooms until our tests come back. Tests came back. Now we're free. So leave the room, walk through the hotel, had to have a mask on. All right. Get down to where the training facilities were, where we could work out and do things. You got, you had to fill out your little questionnaire every morning. We had to get temp checked. Every time we went in and out, you had to be temperature checked. I mean, literally, if I walked in and 30 seconds later I had to go out and grab something, come back in, I had to get temp checked again. Fine. It was fabulous. Now we're in the bubble. Now, everybody that's inside this bubble has been tested, has been temp checked, but until you got to your workout area, you still had to wear a mask.
What?
Oh.
And I'm not kidding you. I'm sitting there and I'm talking to one of the fighters, has mask on, and they're sitting down and we're talking back and forth. And after about 5 minutes, I realized who I was talking to.
Wow.
And I said something, and the fighter looked back to me and went, "Doc?" and one of the promotion people, from the promotion came by, and they called him over and said, "Can you explain something to me? I've had a COVID test. Doc's had a COVID test. We've been temp checked. None of us have symptoms. Why do we have to wear these stupid things back here? This is the bubble. Everybody can't get into the bubble unless you have passed everything." And literally it was, well, that's the commission's rules. And I got it. And thank goodness, everything was great. Everything went off without a hitch. There were 0 positive tests on the entire fight card.
Aren't those tests kind of faulty?
What's that?
You could get a false positive.
Oh, don't even go there with me. I have another athlete who tested positive one day, negative the next day, positive the next day, and negative the next day.
Okay.
Well, guess what? The state counts. That's 2 positive tests in the state.
That's it. You got it.
And they weren't. I have one of my friends was supposed to have shoulder. I had pulled more strings to get this guy in to my top ortho to have a shoulder surgery done. All right. Of course, goes in, has the test done, false positive. They have to cancel it. The next day has a test done, negative. Really? So now the surgery is put off 2 months because that's how long it's going to take now to get him rescheduled.
I can't imagine how many people out there who need surgery and have to wait to get emergency surgery. It makes no sense.
My favorite thing right now in Minnesota, all restaurants, are shut down indoors. We can be outside, so I can sit outside in -12 degrees and eat, but I can't eat inside. But what is open? Every bar and restaurant in the airport.
Whoa,
that's important. That's very important.
And every bar and restaurant 45 minutes due east of me in Wisconsin. All open, wide open. I have a friend whose kid is managing a restaurant and waiting tables. She's making almost $1,000 a day over there right now because people from Minnesota are going over there and other places. And you know what? They're so happy to be able to eat in a restaurant, and they have money because they haven't been spending it on anything else.
Yeah.
And they're happy to tip these people a ton of money. I mean, it's just.
I've seen that on Facebook. I've seen that where people have gotten together and they've tipped them $1,000. I'm like, I need to go in the waitressing business.
Hello, exactly. It's been absolutely crazy. I mean, it's turned, and again, I will 100% give credit where credit is due to opening sports back up, and that credit goes to one man, and that man was Dana White. He was the one that created this whole bubble institution. Everybody followed it. I mean, WWE's followed it. Every wrestling promotion has followed it brilliantly. That was, and you know what? That was our president when Dana said, "Look, I think we have a way to do this." Trump's the one that turned around and said, "Well, okay, you're in charge. You guys figure it out and show us how you can do it safely and properly and stay within guidelines." And Dana and the guys at UFC, God bless them, they figured out. I will credit them with saving sports in the United States and probably worldwide in 2020. Because I don't think we would have had NFL football. I don't think we would have had baseball. I don't think we would have had basketball. I don't think we'd have had any of these sports going on if Dana and his guys and the people that he knows didn't create this bubble system and the way they did it. And yes, again, is it a pain in the to go through all the testing?
You can swear, Doc.
Huh?
You can swear, Doc.
All right, it's a pain in the fucking ass to go through all the
There you go.
But you know what? If that's what we have to go through for the athletes to do their job and the performers to perform, then that's what it is. And I'm cool with that right now. But it is what it is. Like I said, though, I mean, look at the fact we canceled the freaking Olympics over this. And I'm still, I'm still not 100% convinced we're going to have the 2021 games this summer. I'm just not there yet. I just am not there yet. And we'll see. And I can say this much. There is little to no chance that I'm going. I mean, the summer games I would consider if I was asked. All right. You got zero chance of getting me back to China in 2022. Okay. And I've got a bunch of athletes that I do performance work for that are probably going to be there. I ain't going back. I've been to China. I was in China in 2017. All right. I did not.
How was it?
Huh?
You had to wear a mask when you went, right?
You know, it was really, it was the most capitalistic communist country I've ever been in, is the best way I could put it. They allow their people to make money. I mean, because when people are making money, they're happy. And Beijing was really weird because you're walking around Beijing and you've got literally this. All right. You've got people here and people here. I saw some of the nicest, most expensive cars, sports cars I've ever seen in my life in Beijing. And then some of the poorest of poor, you know, street vendors and other people in Beijing. You know, and the air quality was exactly what you hear about. In fact, we woke up one morning. Now, we were only in Beijing for a couple of days. Most of this time, we were up in the mountains for the World Championships, which was a lot better. We woke up one morning and we were in a nice hotel, and I woke up and I felt like I had black lung. My chest hurt, and I grabbed my phone and I looked, and the air quality was a 320.
Wow.
LA on its worst day doesn't get near that.
That's bad.
It was, and we had to go out, and I'm like, I don't want to walk out those doors. I said, I
guess I'm not going there anytime soon.
But I'll say this much: food was amazing, very inexpensive to stay and to eat in China. I mean, we were at a 4-star hotel, and I think we were paying like $60 a night.
What?
Oh wow!
You know, in the middle of Beijing.
That's a good deal.
So it was awesome. I mean, we went out one night, 4 of us. So dinner for 4. We had 3 entrees, appetizers, bottle of wine, beer, blah blah blah. Check comes, and I look and I grab it. I go, yeah, I got dinner. Like, well, how much? I said, no, I got dinner. We're good. You know? And he's like, well, how much is it? I said, just don't worry about it. I got it. He grabs the bill from me and he goes, is this per person? I went, no, that's for the table. I got dinner. It was about, literally, I think it came out to $16 a person.
Wow.
And we ate that night. So, you know, eating there was very inexpensive. And like I said, staying there, other things, you know, are, you know, it's a crowded city. I liked it a lot better when we were up in the mountains, you know, and relaxing and having fun. Although, you know, we were playing, you know, out literally on a lake. And man, when the wind came off that lake in the middle of the winter, it was cold. You know, the athletes are out on the lake. They're at least staying warm. You know, I'm standing on the side of the lake like this, you know, doing everything I can. But it was fun, you know, but like I said, would I really want to go back? I mean, it was interesting because when we got there and we cleared, you know, customs and immigration and we're going through, they pulled me aside, of course. Why not? And they re-x-rayed my bags and I had all my medical equipment in it. And, you know, the guy looks at me and goes, you have your medical license on you?
Oh.
I had already been, well, because I've done it. I've traveled internationally enough times. I had it on my phone. So I pulled up all my information, showed it to him. And I said, what if I didn't have this with me? He goes, we take. I said, yes, you take what? He goes, all this.
Okay.
You know,
wow.
Like $5,000. I mean, everything I needed for the week or the 10 days we were in, would have been gone. So, I mean, I've told so many guys, you know, especially if it's the first time they're, and this was 2017. You know, I said, if you're traveling internationally, I don't care where you're going, have copies, have backup copy, you know, just like they say to have backup copies of your passport, have backup copies of anything that is pertinent to why you're there or what you're doing. You know, now once we had our credentials, then it didn't matter because it was, you know, I could go anywhere with my equipment. So, but it was, you know, it was interesting to say the least.
Hey, Goth, have you been to China?
No, I've been to Japan, not China. I'll pass on the China, man. Japan was awesome, but I'll pass on China.
I heard Japan's absolutely beautiful. I'm not certain that I would ever want to go to China. I don't think I ever had a desire to go to China, even before all of this transpired.
Yeah, I mean, I've been all over with WCW. We went all over the world, but we didn't go to China, and I was okay with that. Everywhere else went. Never made it to China, and I was fine with that.
Now, do you have to get tested too?
It depends on the organization you work for. Like he was mentioning earlier, Dana White was genius, and he did. He saved everything, man. I mean, he really did.
He totally did.
And it's one of those things where every organization, some are more militant than others. Some they temperature, they ask you, have you had any symptoms? You sign a waiver. Some, man, you got to be isolated 18 hours before you go to the venue. It just depends on the company. They're all different. Every wrestling company is different. Every, I'm sure, fight organization is different. It's all kind of the same, but all individually they have different little things that they do. So it just depends on where you're at.
And it depends on the state.
So many factors play in: venue, state, company. I mean, it's a wild card. It's all kind of the same ballpark, but some are very, very militant and strict.
Yep.
Some are more laid back with it. It just depends on where you're at.
So I haven't gotten tested. I know I've had it. I know for a fact I've had it. I didn't go get tested. First of all, I don't want something stuck up to my brain. And
I've been tested, but in another way.
Yeah.
With plasma.
When we were tested with the MMA promotion, we got to actually self-swab. And no, it was cool because what he said, what we had to do was literally, you got the thing, you're standing at the table, and everybody's the party goes, okay, everybody plug one nostril, take a deep breath, blow out hard. He said, anything that's up here is now in your nose. And all you did was just go into your regular nose and do that. And then you did it on the other side and did that. Boom, put it in. And I was like, so we don't have to do you're putting the thing up into my sinuses? He goes, no, there's no difference.
Right, there really isn't.
Right, exactly. You take basically blow your nose. Anything that was up in your sinuses is now in your anterior nasal cavities. And he goes, just 10 seconds on each side, and we were done. It was awesome. I was like, because trust me, that was the thing I was absolutely not looking forward to. Was a 10 Q-tip stuck, especially for somebody that's had 6 broken noses. That will cause you start swabbing around in my nose like that. Next thing you know, I'm bleeding like a sieve again.
Right. Especially with sinus surgery like me, I don't want anything.
So it wasn't that, but it depends on the organization, the state, the venue. Like he said, it's all different, but at least we're able to do it right now, and that's been a good thing. At least we've had sports.
Have you guys have had it? I mean, from what
I've never had a positive test. I had 8 days of a high fever, of body aches, this last January. This was a year ago.
Yes.
I'm convinced I had it a year ago.
Yes.
But again, nothing's going to change for me whether I had it or I didn't have it.
Exactly.
And I'm fortunate enough. One of my former athletes, who's one of the top trainers, in not only the United States but internationally, who's from Congo originally, he created a supplement based on everything that they use in Africa to deal with this stuff.
Oh, wow.
And they drink it in tea form over there. And he said, yeah, we're not going to get anybody to drink it in tea form here because it tastes so nasty. But he was able to create it in pill form. And I've been taking it just from a preventative standpoint. But I sent it over to Maddie in Israel when she had it, and her symptoms got knocked down in a matter of days. I've seen lots of other people that are taking this stuff, and I told them, I said, Lude, you're onto something with this. I said, just understand.
Don't let the government know.
They're going to come hard and heavy at you, because Big Pharma can't control this.
Yeah.
And he said, well, the best thing is, he goes, there are 4 things in there. All of them can be bought at any time. And, he goes, it's just knowing the percentages and how to put it together. He goes, so he said, bring it, because his investors have a lot of zeros behind their name. He goes, if they want to play, we'll play. And when we're done, I'll send you the info on it, Rach, so you have it. But I'm taking it, like I said, I'm taking it, and the family's taking it purely preventatively. And I feel great. I mean, this is the best winter I've had in years. Like, I haven't had anything, and it's January, and usually I've had at least one episode of something, So it's cool. It's good stuff.
What about you, Goth? Have you gotten it yet?
I had the flu. I mean, I had the flu. Like I said, I'm not to get all political, whatever. I mean, I'm by no means a medical expert, but I mean, it's the freaking flu, man. I mean, it's a nasty strand of it. It's more shitty than it was before. But here's the thing: I have a healthy immune system. I don't have any pre-existing medical conditions. I'm not a senior citizen. I had the flu. A week later, I was fine. Like every year, it sucks. I usually get the flu, and about a week later, I'm fine because I have, guess what, an immune system, kids. It works. I think the whole COVID thing is, to me, and here you go, I'm not trying to be all conspiracy theory or whatever, but man, to me, it's the boogeyman under the bed. It's used to control, install fear. I'm not saying it's not a legitimate illness. I'm saying it ain't near as bad as it's the boogeyman. It's the watch out or COVID will get you.
Well, and of course, because now that the boogeyman seems to be quasi under control, new strain. More contagious.
Right, new strain.
I was like, oh, here we go.
As soon as the numbers started coming down, we got a more contagious strain. We better lock everything.
Yeah.
And let's and I will get political for a minute because I'm pissed off.
Go.
The fucking audacity of the governor of New York to say, "Oh, wait a minute, the Buffalo Bills are in the playoffs. I want to now change the rules so that I can go see the Buffalo Bills play."
That's right.
Okay. Now, whether he'll do it or not, I don't know. But the owner of the Buffalo Bills should go, "Listen, motherfucker, do you know how much money you cost me this year?"
Right.
Yeah.
You are banned from my stadium. I'm taking out an RO. And if you step foot on our property, this isn't your property. I own this stadium. You step foot on my property, I'm going to have you arrested.
Yeah.
Who the hell do you think you are that now that my team is in the playoffs, you want to come to a game?
Wow.
You and de Blasio just canceled the Pinstripe Bowl because you said it wasn't safe to have a football game in New York City. And now you want to come? No. Sorry. No, and no. I saw that and I almost fell over. The fact that we had to play the Rose Bowl in Dallas, Texas last night because Newsom wouldn't let it be played in California. Just stop. Just stop. It's let him play. Let the kid, and this is the greatest one I love. I was reading the return to play in a couple of states, and one of them was Ohio. So kids wrestling's back in Ohio. Okay. There is not a sport out there that you are closer and breathing and snotting on and everything else than amateur wrestling.
You got that right.
So you can have a full wrestling match.
Wow.
Oh, wait. But you can't shake hands afterwards.
What?
Because that might spread COVID.
That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, the one thing that the biggest sign of sportsmanship, especially as somebody that wrestled when he was younger, you shook hands afterwards. It's what you may have been pissed, you may have gotten pinned, but you got up, you shook hands. No, can't even shake hands.
Wow.
I'm like, I sat there and went. I watched the world wrestling tournament a couple of weeks ago, that was over in Europe. And same thing. The wrestlers were not allowed to shake hands afterwards. And the referee wasn't even allowed to take a hand and raise it for the victor. And I'm sitting there going,
oh, wow.
Y'all just had a wrestling match.
Right. Right.
You're tied up. You're next to each other, but you can't shake hands. Because that could spread COVID.
That just doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm saying, like common sense. This just, none of it makes any sense. It just
common sense went out the window.
Well, the best part, as I said, and I picked up on it week 1 in collegiate football. Have you looked at the masks that almost every collegiate coach is wearing? They're made of mesh. They're see-through.
Yep.
So like I said, wait a minute. If that meets NCAA standards, And their medical protocols are pretty serious in the NCAA. They don't screw around. All right. But if the coaches are allowed to wear mesh masks, and this is my best part. They have the mask on until they need to talk to the referee, and then they pull the mask down.
You're exposed again.
Yeah.
What?
To you.
It's just it's insanity. And again, for the average person, I get the thing, but for athletes who are being tested and who, let's face it, are in amazing shape.
Yes.
Come on. And there have been some stupid players out there that broke protocol and broke the bubbles, and that was the issue. But Nick Saban said it best. My players are safer on my campus all together under my supervision than they are if I send them home to their hometown.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because look at when all the big issues happened. It was before these kids were actually back in school under their coach's control. We've had very few issues. I mean, there have been some, but I guarantee you the issues that have happened, those kids broke protocol. They broke their bubble. They snuck out. They did something stupid. And if you do something stupid, well, that's what happened. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But for the most part, if the protocols are followed for sports, athletes at every age and every stage can return to play. And especially when we're looking at kids where the transmission rate is much lower than it is in adults.
Yes.
Why are we allowing professional athletes to play without masks, but we're telling kids in other states, oh, you can go back out and play, but you got to wear them under a shield, like you were saying, let's put them in those big freaking bubbles that you run around in and hit them.
Guys.
The saddest part is my daughter is a senior, and she didn't go to her junior prom because she wanted to wait for her senior prom. Now there's no prom, there's no sports, there's no homecoming, there's no graduation.
Yeah.
And so emotionally had to discuss that with my daughter. I kept her home. We do home study because I'm glad I did, because I'm hearing stories from other parents where, oh my gosh, they sneezed and I had to go get them tested.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, oh, my son had a stomach ache. I had to take him back to get tested. And
oh my God,
getting him tested. I'm like, I'm so glad that I kept my daughter home. But this is just like what you said, Doc. Emotionally, this is damaging.
I want you to think about, your daughter's a great example, but you imagine this. You are going into your senior year. You are the captain of whatever sports team you're on. You have scholarships on the line, and you can't play?
Yep.
Well, what if, and here's what I said. Let's take the 2019-2020 collegiate football year, and let's say that they didn't get to play. Do you know Joey Football? The number 1 draft pick was slated to be a 6th rounder if he hadn't played the year he played. The kid, Jefferson, that was the number 1 draft pick for the Minnesota Vikings, was slated as a 6th round draft pick before that senior year.
Yeah.
Stop it. And again, I have a friend who's, a therapist, and he said the level of depression and attempted suicides in these kids, because they've lost their identity. Some of these kids, they've lost their identity.
Yeah.
I mean, when you are BMOC walking around your high school, with that big captain's letter on you, and you're the high school quarterback and you're everything, and now that's taken away from you. Everything you've worked for in the last umpteen years. I mean, they start playing football at 5 years old. Now you're 13 years of playing ball, and now it's gone. Or 14 years of wrestling, and now it's gone. Or hockey or anything else, gone. These kids, and worse, now they got to stay at home, and you got some of them, either their parents or their friends' parents. No, you can't see your girlfriend, can't see your boyfriend, you can't see your best friend. You can't. The Friday night, you're stuck at. I mean, I would go stir crazy. You know,
I think we all were stir crazy in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, we
You
were
know,
shut down for 2 months, full 2 months.
It's
Nothing.
crazy. I mean, and I'm seriously, again, it's one thing if you live in a southern state where, you know, you can at least go out and do things right now, you know, but like up here, maybe, I mean, you might go skating on a pond, if anything, but you're not running outside. You're not getting together with your friends outside and hanging out like you normally would. And thankfully, you know, I've got a 15-year-old daughter with a head on her shoulders that, you know, she's running her businesses and everything else and doing what she does. But it's, you know, it's got to end. You know, they're supposed to be going back to school. She won't. She's staying home. She goes, Dad, doing school online's been fine. You know, she doesn't care about it. You know, she's one of the few that actually can thrive in either environment. You know, she doesn't need to be, you know, face to face with her teachers to do it. But there's so many kids, especially the young kids. How are these kids learning? You don't have I'm sorry. 6-year-old boys do not have an attention span to do what I'm doing right now and sit in front of a computer for hours and pay attention and learn, you know.
There's like video games in the background. That's why they're
well, that's the other thing, right? You know, and I know in every state and every district's different, you know, but in our district, the kids don't have to have their cameras on.
Really?
So if they're logged on and their little, you know, name appears, they have to be considered present. Okay, I know a lot of kids that said, yeah, they log on and in the background they're freaking playing video games while they're in class, you know. And even if the teacher's calling them and they don't respond, teachers can't do anything about it. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you should be marked absent instantly.
Yeah,
you know, but it is what it is.
That was a lot to think for.
I know. Like, wait a minute.
Like, let me process all this.
So, let's get back. Well, I mean, I just have to say, let's just hope that 2021 is going to be somewhat different. I mean, things are going to be a little rocky for the first couple months until March. So I'm really hoping that they'll figure this out so the kids can have graduation, the kids can have sports, the kids can do things, the athletes can return back to normal, you know, programs can be I don't understand. And and here's the thing, I'm going to say this and I'm probably going to kick myself in the butt and other people are going to yell at me, but that's okay. The vaccine. Coming
Fuck
from
that. That.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
Coming from
what he said.
Fuck that.
Coming from a background of, we all know, obviously, Logan, I called you by Logan, sorry.
Oh, fuck, there goes. I'm busting
okay,
down.
let's go. I know, right? I had something foreign in my body, made me sick. I almost died, like really bad. Doc, you know the story.
I do know the story.
And so I'm not going to say I'm anti-vax, but I guess I am anti-vax because I will not put anything foreign in my body whatsoever. And especially if I'm an athlete, I would not do it. I would not put it in my body. And I've researched the vaccines, not just the V vaccine, but I've researched them all. And I'm sorry. I'm not putting heavy metals back into my body. I'm not putting fetal cells into my body. How is that going to help my immune system? How is that supposed? And then they tell you still have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
You still have to wear the mask. You still have to 6 feet apart. So then what's the point of getting the vaccine? Exactly. So what's the point of getting the vaccine?
It's the same
Well,
thing.
not only that,
COVID, and they still want you to wear a mask.
And I've asked this question numerous times. I said, how long do the antibodies last from this vaccine? Because normally we do a 5 to 7 year study so we can trace how long. Hence why you need booster shots for things like tetanus, because it only lasts so long. We have no clue.
Same thing with the flu vaccine. There's no cure.
It is very possible you're going to need a booster shot every 3 to 4 months for the rest of your freaking life.
Yeah.
No, not happening. And I have a child who wound up with serum sickness from, a vaccine, who can't get it. She can't get it. Sorry, she is medically exempt from getting it.
I know I can't have it.
We had to be very careful when she got, when she was going to camp and I had to get, a tetanus. And I was like, look, I need tetanus alone. Well, that costs. I said, I don't care. Money? Please. I'm not worried about that. This is what I want. This is it. You stick her with anything else. And I was like, I want to see before you even draw, give me the vial. I was looking at the vial to make sure they weren't going to sit there and go, oh, well, let's give her the PTA, not just the T. It's like, no.
Now, Doc, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What if organizations try to force this vaccine on athletes? How do you think the athletes will respond to it?
I think the unions will fight it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean,
now
I see you up in the corner. You want to say something, Logan? Let's go.
For those, I was flipping the finger, Mag. I'm not taking it.
But here's the thing. Here's a great example, though, Rach. For those that are unionized, what's the one sport we know isn't?
Wrestling.
One other. MMA.
Yep.
They're all independent contractors. So they could turn around. You can have commissions that say, don't get the shot, you don't get to fight. Now, I think that'll end up in a lawsuit. And I'm sure somebody like Lynn Wood would love to take that one on. But
he's awesome.
I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's going to be a shit show if they start, and people said, oh, what are you going to do when I said, I ain't going to do anything. They're like, oh, well, they have plans they're saying that they're going to make COVID camps. I go, I said, you know what? I said, you know what prevents COVID camps? The Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
I said, because the last time I said, go ahead. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That ain't happening. But they're already trying to play these games. And this is the point. I said, they're isolating, they're separating, they're just, think about the fact of them sitting there and saying, well, you can't gather, you can't get together. Well, you know what happened in the late 1970s, or the late 1777s? They gathered and got together and fought back. Okay. Well, if you're not allowed to gather and get together, how you gonna fight back?
Right.
All right. I'm telling you, it could get real ugly real fast. I mean, all you have to do is look at how many people in the last 12 months have purchased firearms.
Oh yeah,
that's
ridiculous.
And what are they doing now?
They broke the record.
Right. But what are they doing now? Well, we can't stop firearm sales, so you know what? We're going to limit ammunition.
Yep.
Yeah, the ammo is short.
And I'm like, yeah, that's fine because people reload, folks, and and then what did they do? Oh, we're going to cut back primers, so you can get everything else, but the primer. Well, no primer, no bone. But it's. I mean, I've got friends that literally, if it gets ugly, it's going to get ugly. I mean, and I've got friends who have kids that are recently retired special ops guys. They're like, there are so many of them ready to rock and roll.
Oh wow, I've heard that a lot.
I had one of my friends flat out tell me his son's retired special ops sniper. And he said they're in a group of 15,000 of them.
Oh, wow.
That said they could shut the grid down in under 30 minutes.
Oh, my. Yep. Wow.
And they said if they try to do something stupid, they're as I told people, look, the biggest militia in the United States are the hunters. There's
Yes.
a lot more of them than most hunters I know are pretty good shots at about 400 yards. And I pray to Hashem, nothing like that ever happens, and that never comes to that. You start playing the mandatory shit, and that you're going to go into this camp or this, but it's going to hit the wall, And I don't want it to, but it'll hit the wall.
We've got about 8 minutes here. I do want to kind of touch on where they can find you, Goth Black. I still want to call you by another name, but I'm
yeah, so do I.
Yeah, you can go on to Facebook and you can pull it up. It's my picture there. It's not hard to find. It's pretty easy to find. I don't have a website or anything, but an independent contractor in the wrestling business. I am currently not under contract with anyone. I work for a bunch of different companies, but I'm easy to find on Facebook. And for the band thing, Shotgun Saver, we will be able to fan page in the next couple of months.
Excited.
I'm not hard to find. I'm using Facebook, Joe, most of the time, but when I'm not, I'm on there every now and then. They continue to make me a bitch. I say we should defund the Facebook police. Is what I'm about. Defund the Facebook police
and the Twitter police
and the Instagram police. They're all owned it together anyway.
It's just, it's anytime you speak out, it's a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy. No, it's not, and it's gonna. And I'm with you, man. I think it's getting ugly. I know so many guys, so many military combat specialists, so many MMA. So many guys that are willing to go out there and and make this Antifa Black Lives Matter bullshit look like a Girl Scout meeting. These guys can't even put a scope on a gun the right way. They walk around with jam 20 caliber AR rifles, and you're going to go up against, Marine Special Ops and Army snipers. Good luck with that. Like you said, the whole thing will be shut down in about 45 minutes. And if it gets to that, I hope it doesn't. I'm with you. I hope it doesn't get to that. But at the same time, if that's what it's going to take to stop the Corona boogeyman and all the bullshit, because that's what it is. These people get brainwashed by it, and I'm in a freaking store the other day, man, and
the news,
the mask police, people that are just oh my god, I can't believe I'm wearing a mask. And this guy comes up to me, his wife's all mouthy. She says, "Excuse me, why aren't you wearing a mask?" I'm like, "Because I'm not a fucking sheep." And she goes,
I've gotten that same thing. I've got
you're killing me. You're killing me by not wearing a mask. I'm like, well, it's been 9 months, bitch. Why the fuck ain't you dead yet? I'm killing you. Why the fuck ain't you dead? It's been 9 months.
Oh god, I love it.
What this has been going on for 6 months now, and me not wearing a mask is going to kill you just now. The 6 months into the problem.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous, man. People just buy into the conspiracy, the fear that, it's like, I will do what I'm told. And like you said, okay, so the coronavirus from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., he's out there. But after that, he goes back to bed, takes a nap. It's just fucking stupid, man. It's just at some point you got to, and I'm doing myself crazy, man, because I've got one of those brains that's like a hamster on a meth wheel. It just goes and goes and goes and goes. And I'm like, the only thing I can do is take care of my own backyard. You come to my house and try to take my gun, I'm going to shoot you in the fucking face. Are my possessions in my house worth more than your life? Everything in my house is worth more than your life if you try to come into my house and hurt me and my family, And that's just, when the people that want to be left alone you start fucking with is really just dangerous, And, I take care of mine. You try to come into my house and take something from me, you're putting your life in jeopardy. You try to break into my house,
for sure.
You take your life in jeopardy. You try to take my guns. First of all, these police you want to defund, you think they're going to go door to door saying we're here to take your guns and get shot by people who want to defund them?
No,
man. It's not going to happen.
And you said it best. It's the people that just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
You wake them up. To use the analogy, you wake the John Rambos of this United States.
Exactly.
There's a lot of them, folks. Okay, there's a lot of retired special ops guys that just want to be left alone. They want to live their lives.
Exactly.
You wake them up, ain't going to be pretty, because you know what's going to happen? From a place that you don't see will come a shot that you won't ever hear.
Not here. Exactly. Exactly. I know a lot of cats like that, man. And I'm one of them, dude. Like, I'm a peaceful, loving guy, man. Leave me alone, and there won't be none. You tread on me, then, I will be in fear for my life and defend myself accordingly. My locks on my door are not for my protection. They're for yours.
For yours.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, I mean, I'm just, you know, and I know not everybody's 6'4", 300 pounds and a fighter and all that shit, but it doesn't matter. You know, people are sick of it, man. And, you know, John Smith, who's an accountant at a firm, is sick and tired of being pushed around and told, yes, and he's going to start fighting back. Roll up on him. And 120-pound John Smith is going to pull out his 357 and blow your freaking head off. You know, I mean, people are tired of it, man. It's going to get to a point where people just real red-blooded Americans who are sick of being, it's all about, dude, money. Bottom line is $1. And if these people who are, so to speak, if they're going to do all this to gain power, what the fuck do you think they're going to do if they get it? You know, and that's the scary part, man. It's all, you know, they come to find out the election machines, you know, the guy's brother-in-law, part of the, I mean, at some point you go, you know, but it's like, it just gets dismissed, you know, liberal media covers it up, you know, pharmaceutical companies cover it up. And, you know, eventually just, you know, people are going to say, you know what, we've had enough. And here comes the revolution, man. Here it comes again.
Hoorah.
And when it does, you know, it's not going to be pretty.
Hey, Doc, how can they find you now?
You know, Instagram, Twitter, it's at Doc Howie. It's that simple. It's the easiest way to find me.
Are you on Instagram?
Yeah.
Are you on Instagram?
No, I because of the new conditions, if you read Instagram, if you are with Instagram, you are willingly giving up them to access your phone, your contact numbers. It's part of their new disclaimer. I don't know if you've read it, but it's out there.
That's why I have a second phone that has Instagram on it. That has anything else on that phone. There's no contacts. There ain't nothing on that phone. And that's
exactly, you have to.
That's a good idea. I should do that with my other phone. Now, yeah. Here's the thing, though. They've been doing this for months, years, days. They've been doing it already. They just decided to be transparent this time.
It is what it is. I'm like, fine. You know, I said, what contacts you going to take? My wife? Great. My kids? Perfect. Have fun. You know, public information. You know, I ain't hiding anything. You know,
there's nothing. Yeah, this is crazy. Well, you guys, we got to wrap it up. I had so much fun having you guys on.
Thank you.
What's that?
I'm talking to you guys.
Are you cool to come back on again?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Oh my God,
I want to hear you play
guys.
music next time.
Exactly. You're playing the guitar.
Yep.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
Tunes. You all follow each other. I think Thomas is coming on.
Nice one. Everybody got me?
Yeah, I got you, Tom.
Just want to thank you guys for coming on and taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. Thanks, guys.
Aren't they amazing?
Rachel.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to Spittin' Fire.
My bad. I can't leave you out there.
Thanks for tuning in with Spittin' Fire with Rachael Blaze and Tarzan. We'll see you next time. We'll see you on Friday this week.
Bye.